Hi everyone. I'm actually in my room and I'm actually gonna keep a very low volume because it's pretty late, and then it's not good to actually be loud. But I just can tell there's this taping and all this stuff, and then there's some parts which are darker. Okay, this is actually a result of the laser owl. Is it owl through owl therapy? So that actually is where the laser it burns off the layer of the pigment so that this thing will eventually scab and then fall over, and then yeah. So what I was told by not just the doctor himself but even by the staff members that the will that mean this all these areas will eventually scab. And so I mean I can still wash my face as usual, although I check on ChatGPT just to find out what people always recommend. But I found that in fact some people will actually just wash with water. I can't do that. Okay, there are a few things I got to try to compensate for this, and I'm actually going to actually say what I do. Okay, just to let the people know. Okay, so and this is like okay, this areas are what we call seborrheic keratosis. Okay, so there's a little bit like it's a deposit of fat, and then with the all these little bits of things like it looks a bit like raised. This is a seborrheic hyperplasia, and the funny thing is these are not pigments, but these are happening. You look very dark, but it looks can somewhat elevated like a bit of a mole or something, but it's not a mole. Okay, and then it's due to aging, and so the skin doctor told me that that can be removed obviously. Even my friend was pointing saying this thing can be removed, that actually. Okay, he didn't say that it was that friend yesterday told me that actually this is not really what we call freckle or melasma, but skin doctors also remove that. So yeah, so the skin doctor was very young. I went for this treatment at this clinic called Aloha Derm. So and the staff were very very helpful, and they told me in fact in mostly in Korean obviously with some English, and I had actually a treatment to remove and or to lighten this the melasma and the remove the seborrheic not dermatitis, seborrheic keratosis and the seborrheic hyperplasia. So the costs are actually pretty transparent. They'll tell you the cost pretty much. And the doctor asked me, was there anything else that you were concerned about? I said, oh, my skin is always very dry, especially even especially around the T zone. For some strange reason, although this is supposed to be the very oily area, but yeah, it gets very dry. And even after laser treatments, like I realized my past experiences with laser, pico laser, everything. Once I have it, my skin is just like something was like pulling my skin. It's very tight and very uncomfortable. So okay, there are a few things I got, and I saw because I saw it at the clinic that was being retailed, but I didn't get it from clinic. I actually instead I went to Olive Young. Okay, so these are the few products. Okay, it's very simple because let me just say something. I brought my own skincare, but those are not bad skincare, but I don't think they are suitable for the kind of treatment and everything, and then they're running out. You can see, okay, let me show you a difference. Okay, these are the skincare I use is actually Japanese initially, but I switch over to the Korean one. So this is the Estalife Crest Creamy Clear Foam. This is actually very good for dry skin, but the thing is because my facial skin is very very sensitized and very weakened, I cannot afford to actually use something that will foam up and cause a lot of this like rubbing, wearing and tearing. So sometimes even they just tell you to use something that's very much like a cushion. Okay, and yeah, so I switched to this Estura. Okay, this is the Atoll Barrier 365 Bubble Cleanser. In fact, they recommend using the cream along with it or the lotion. I got the cream, but it's in my luggage, so it's a bit for 8,000 won. It's really cheap, but the thing is, I don't want to take it out again, so I didn't use that. Okay, and then moisturizer wise, okay, I was using these two products initially before I stopped, and then I think I have very very little left actually to begin with. This is like a little bit, And then this cream is like you can see these are under Fujifilm still. It's really really low, so I think by the end of this week I'll have to throw them away, okay, or at least keep this top part or the casing just so that I can do refill packs. But um, these are not like the best for, I mean they're good for anti-aging or for very dry skin, but for post-surgery you don't use this kind of stuff. So I have a few products which I'm using, okay, and I'm going to get actually, some of them are always sold out. I brought this Dr. Different thing, the Metal Seeker cream. This was in my luggage, but I haven't really used it much. I use it before the spray tanning, okay, on my face, just to make sure that everything was okay, like don't have any sensitive reactions. I'm gonna use this actually tonight, and then or something else. I'm supposed to use very light, but the main thing is this moisturizer. I did okay. What I'm switching to, I start with this cleanser, and I was supposed to actually use something very mild. So I got this Zeroid, the intensive cream. Okay, this is actually a very suitable product for severely dry and disordered skin. Okay, and I think that basically you don't have any much of a choice. You have to keep it very very simple. So I could actually switch over to the facial cream cleanser, but I really did this with the Astura creams bubble cleanser. So I think I'll just use this, and then after that I'm going turning one night, and then after that they give me something to use for the next few days. 一日一会, okay, that means 1 day 2 times for next 2 to 3 days. Okay, this is to help prevent the scabbing from just expedite the scabbing. It's a steroid cream. Okay, so yeah, so anyway, let me just apply the Astura cream just to get you have a sense of what it feels like. It's actually this cream, okay, but it's actually it's intensive cream, and here's some ingredients like panthenol and stuff. Yeah, I think it's panthenol. Let me have a look. Yeah, but anyway, it's hypoallergenic, okay, non-comedogenic. Yeah, so it's actually very good. Okay, but let me just try to open this. Okay, it's sealed. It's good. All these are made in Korea. Okay, so and the thing is, it's very hard to get in some branches of olive young. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually apply a layer. Yeah, I was told that I can shave again in the morning when I want to. I always shaved. So yeah, but this is like, oh, I don't feel any dryness now that I'm using it. This is the one thing, because after laser, all these things, my skin gets really really dry. And then this is like, I had a joke that my skin is like ET skin. It's becoming very very so I don't have to use any crazy stuff, like, and then make my problems worse. Yeah, they always say simple is better. So okay, this is done for the moisturizer. It's very simple. Yeah, I think this absorbs quite fast, so I mean it takes a bit of time, but these are still the the tape. I have to keep the tape on, unfortunately, for next 2 days. I mean it might still fall off because this is the way it is, but okay. And then steroid cream. I can't do. Let me try to find out how to do this. Oh, the cap is like a revolving one, so I have to just apply this on the areas where there's some sensitivity. Okay. Yeah, they say that if the place is not taped down, then I don't have to use steroid cream. Okay, so let me see this. Yeah. the funny thing is this. I realized one thing that is, I brought a lot of sunscreens, but after these procedures, which includes Rejuran injection, because Rejuran is actually for the very dry skin, it's kind of booster. I realized that I can't be using. I asked them whether I can use sheet mask. They said, yeah, it's no big deal, but I haven't used it because I don't dare to. Okay, maybe I have wait away for a few days, but I also changed my sunscreen because I realized that I can't use a chemical sunscreen for some reason. I'm not sure why, but oh yeah, a lot of the chemical sunscreens that I'm using right now have some fragrance. So I got this again, Astura. Was it Derma UV 365 barrier hydro mineral sunscreen. So when you say the mineral sunscreen, basically means like something with zinc or and probably titanium dioxide. It forms an outer layer on the skin instead of like getting absorbed in the skin. It forms a layer to block out. It's a physical layer. Okay. But one thing is, I realize that nowadays, a lot of Korean sunscreens are very elegant. And the thing is, I tried this on my hands just now, and it looked quite okay. And I did ask her, between this and the Radiant C, which has vitamin C, which is actually more suitable for post-laser treatment. She said, actually there isn't much of a difference, but the thing is, she said that a physical sunscreen is probably better at Olive Young. And I think most people will say, yeah, physical sunscreen is probably the best at this stage. Okay, so, yep. So that's it for now. And then, yeah, I'm going to use this in the morning. I'll just report back on what it feels like. But in the meantime, I'm off to sleep. Okay, have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.